Hi my friends and welcome to the channel. I am so thrilled to be filming this video because as I said, this channel will mainly focus on like femininity, letting loose, being your best self, and just trying to thrive and while you're being in your feminine. So I'm so excited today because I am talking about a few ways and suggestions that you can improve your romance slash relationship, because I absolutely think that like when you're working on your feminine, it's absolutely essential to think about romance, because you need your masculine counterpart. And as women who are focused on working on our femininity, we know, or at least you were supposed to learn, that one of the first thing, well, or it's not the first thing, but I'm like, eventually you should love your masculine counterpart. You should be excited to have them around, because that is your complement. It's like your femininity just shines through when there's a whole lot of masculine energy. But then that does not mean quantity. It also just means quality. But you know what? Quantity absolutely helps too, before you decide on which quality to go with, because then if there's only one fish in the sea, then I guess you don't have a choice. So this channel is all about having fun, thriving in our femininity, and enjoying ourselves as much as possible. So today, yes, we are talking about having fun in your romance and your relationship. Now, I am assuming that you already are in a relationship. However, this also applies if you are just getting into one, so you're looking for ideas of what to do, what are you going to do together with your partner, and or maybe you're just looking to do something different in your relationship to improve things, right? And just coming up with fun ideas. So I guess I was going, for myself, one of the things that I find is enjoyable is just picking things that are out of the norm, that I don't usually do with, I have not done with that partner at all, right? And so I go, maybe you guys always just go for dinners, so how can you spice things up? Say, let's paint together. Let's paint together. And then he goes, I don't know how to paint. And you say, I know, me too. I don't know how to paint as well, but you know what? This will be so much fun, because we are both going to learn how to paint together. And the truth is, it doesn't really matter if we end up doing something that's worthwhile. What is more important is that we are doing something together. It's new, it's exciting, and it doesn't really have to lead to anything, because it's not like we are like artists and we are hoping to make a regular living with this, right? So the idea is just to have fun, right? That is one of the things that you can do. You can go for walks. I love walks so much. But you know what? I absolutely love walks with like a partner. And I go, for me, like going for like romantic walks is like everything to me, because I like to go for walks by myself. But when I get to go with my spouse, I'm like, oh my God, this is so much fun. This is so out of the norm. And you know what? Because we both have different schedules, we don't get to do this together on a regular basis, right? So this is just refreshing to me. It's, it's a stress free activity that does not, require a lot of thought and effort to go into it. You can tell your spouse stories while you're on that walk. You can just walk quietly, right? So you have all that choice. One of my favorite things to do is go for ice cream for no reason at all. So sometimes people go, "Oh, what are we going to do on that walk?" I'm like, "We'll go for ice cream." "Do you really care too much about ice cream?" I'm like, "No, I actually don't care about the ice cream. I just wanted to spend time with you," right? So it's one of those things, right? So walking for me is like, oh my God, I love this. I'm having so much fun, and like we can talk or we don't have to talk. Another fun activity you can do, learn how to dance together. Right? So this one is a little more difficult because a lot of guys are like, oh my God, unless I know how to dance, or maybe I was dancing with my family when I was a little younger, that's not an activity that I'm looking forward to so much, right? So those are the types of activities that you will actually have to take your time to convince your partner, which, you know what? That in itself is already a way to spice up and improve your romance by going, "Pretty please, this will be so much fun. We will enjoy ourselves. I promise you, this will be just amazing for you." And so it's not just fun because you guys are trying something new. It's also fun, that part where you're trying to convince your partner and they're going, "You know what? We absolutely are going for those dance lessons, and I'm going to, like work on convincing you." So that in itself is already something fun, because we live in a modern world where, like men and women both have, like their own things going on. So it's not like in the past where you would have lots of opportunities to ask for things from your partner, right? But because women these days are very independent, you don't actually have a lot of opportunities to have something to ask from your partner that you actually go, "I need this," right? So it's little fun things like this that you just go, "Well, you know what? This will be so much fun. I'm going to try and, well, I'm not going to try and convince him. I will convince him. But the fun part will be talking my partner, who has never danced at all, into going to learn how to dance." It will be difficult, and like it will be fun, but it's absolutely going to happen, right? So that is one of those things where you're going, this one is not for my partner, this one is just for myself to have fun, and I'm going to take my time, but we are going for those dance lessons, right? And so something else that you can do, you can, like, if you guys are like, like if you guys usually just go for simple everyday like outings, go for fancy dinners. Like just go maybe once a month. Honey, I would like you to take me out to this restaurant. And then he goes, "Oh, okay, that's odd." But usually most men are just like, "Okay, sure, if you really want to," right? Because I don't, like, at least generally I find that most of them just don't really care. They're just like, "Yeah, sure, if it will make you happy," right? So that's why sometimes I'm like, don't wait for him to come up with ideas, because a lot of them are not sitting down and thinking, wow, like I have been with my wife for 10 years now, so let me think of something different to do. And there is no special occasion like Mother's Day or Valentine's, right? So if you are waiting for him to come up with ideas, that will just happen on special occasions like Christmas or Mother's Day or Valentine's. If you, on the other hand, are the type of woman who's like, I'm going to take things in my own, like I'm going to take matters in my own hands and I'm going to enjoy my relationship, just come up with ideas. just go, you know what, I have been doing some research, and there is a very beautiful restaurant in downtown, and I know that we usually don't do this, and this is odd, but I'd really like you to take me there. I'd really like us to go there. Like, it's something new, it's odd, and maybe he'll go, wow, that's so weird. That's not something that we do. And you just go, but I really, really want to do it. And most likely he'll say yes, especially because you came up with something, right? Or you could be that couple that's so used to going for fancy dinners, you're used to doing the fancy conferences with your friends, so this is not something that's like out of the norm for you. Then you go, oh, let's try something that's more on the simple side. Let's go for like, I don't know, like just a regular dinner for most people, because for you, like, regular is doing something fancy, right? So go, let's try something different. Let's go for fish and chips by the docks, right? And so that's like, oh my gosh, we have never done that. And it's like, yeah, well, I guess we get to see each other in a different setting, right? So if that is what is different for you, that is what you do. If fancy is the norm, go simple. If simple is the norm, go fancy. You don't have to do this on a regular basis. In fact, the idea is it's supposed to be something that's not, like on a regular basis, which makes it interesting. And so you have spiced things up. Something else I usually recommend for myself is you can listen to a podcast or follow a channel together that is of mutual interest. But honestly, you also can just speak something, and your spouse probably does not really care, as long as it's, like a lot of fun for both of you and it's not inconvenient, right? So you cannot, like, you have to pick subjects that are so lighthearted. And your partner, like something that's maybe likely to get them just a little too frustrated and excited, so that it's like, this is not enjoyable for your partner. Don't pick things like that. Pick something that's lighthearted and just go, you know what, honestly, I am well informed on this subject, but I just wanted us to listen to this so that, like, we can have something to talk about. It's almost like an icebreaker. Like, I'm running out of things to talk to you about, right? So I just came up with something, and this is it, right? This is what I came up with. So let's listen to this podcast, or let's follow this channel. Comes out like it. They ask interesting questions, and I just wanted I wanted us to talk about some of those questions because they are so interesting. And you know what? For me, I find that is something that's super fun to do with your partner. Most people generally don't do it, right? Because a lot of people are not used to talking a lot. So it's a good way to get your partner talking. And a talking couple is a couple that stays together. So guys, those are some of the ideas that I had when I thought of different ways to improve your romance/relationship. There are so many other, ways to do this, and I'm sure that you guys probably have, lots of suggestions. I would love to hear about them. So if you'd like to share, please feel free to comment down below and let, others know. And yeah, I hope that, there was something interesting in there for you. And I hope that you guys will try some of these ideas, and I'd love to know how it goes for you. So please contact me and let me know. Also, if you have a subject that you would like me to talk about, please message me or just comment down below, and I'll do my best. And that is all that I do, because This channel is all about having fun, taking it easy, and enjoying our femininity. So my friends, I absolutely hope that you enjoyed this video because I enjoyed making it.